Missed it.
Hi, I'm Z-Man Pro Luke Clausen, here to tell you a little bit about the new umbrella rigs. There's a lot of options for rigging and bait options out there, and a lot of it comes down to experiment. I'm still learning about it myself, but Z-Man has some great selection out there for some different baits to throw on there. And probably my all-time favorite is the paddlers. I really like the 4-inch paddlers, especially in the spring when the water's a little bit cooler. It doesn't have a tremendous amount of action. The tail kicks well. It has a real fluid motion, but doesn't roll really hard like some of the other swim baits we see out there. A great cold water swim bait. And when it gets a little bit warmer, water gets a little bit dirtier, or you're trying to draw fish from a further distance, the grass kickers is my go-to bait. It has a lot harder thumping tail. The bait rolls a lot more. It's just a lot more of an aggressive bait than the paddlers is, but definitely has its place in an arsenal. There's a few other baits I have out there. The swimmers, of course, the minnows, and the curly tails, another good cold water bait. As far as rigging goes, I really like the jig heads. It has a barb on it that holds ElaZtech up better than probably any other jig head out there. But one cool thing that we're doing now, fishing around trees, brush piles, docks, when you're actually going to hit stuff with the bait, with an exposed hook with 5 hooks, it hooks about everything. So I like to rig it weedless. And I'll actually go ahead and take the shaky heads and run through the head of a bait like you would a shaky head worm, push it back up and come back through the belly again and rig it weedless just like you would a shaky head. And when you're throwing an Alabama rig on heavy line and a big rod, it's no problem to come through that soft ElaZtech plastic and get the fish hooked. The things I really like about ElaZtech are that it's super soft. For me, that's the most important thing. This swims better than pretty much any swim bait out there at slow speed. It has a tremendous amount of action. And the cool thing is, there's a lot of guys I've talked to that have been using this bait for the whole year already, been using 4 or 5 of the same baits and haven't had to replace them because of the durability of ElaZtech. Really, for the umbrella rig, a guy needs a bigger rod, bigger reel, bigger line, pretty much everything. Not for the size fish you're catching, but for the size of the bait you're throwing, the total weight and all the baits and wire and all that goodness that's flying out there. You need a lot more to handle it. I use an 8-foot 1-inch megabass rod with 80-pound tough line braid just to throw it as far as you can and try to cover as much water as you can. Give ElaZtech swim baits a try on your umbrella style rig and I guarantee you'll catch more fish.